Whitney and Chase from My Big Fat Fabulous Life have ended their engagement, and Chase is going to be a father in October. Oh my God, guys, the news came out last night. Whitney and Chase both put something on Instagram, which I will read in a couple of seconds. But first, we all know that Whitney and Chase were quote unquote engaged on the show, which real quick, I have to say, I think that is completely fake and total BS. But either way, they were engaged, but we kind of knew that they were living in separate towns. One thing led to another, and Whitney said on her post where she admitted that they actually broke up, that Chase started seeing an old girlfriend, one thing led to another, and now that girlfriend is pregnant, so Chase clearly did cheat on Whitney. And the craziest thing is now Chase is going to be having a kid. So here is what Chase and Whitney both put on social media, and then I will share my thoughts on this whole situation. Whitney said, "Hey y'all, this is a really weird and uncomfortable thing to have to announce on social media, but as I get more questions and hear more rumors, I figured it was time. Chase and I are no longer engaged. After experiencing a lot of ups and downs and still living apart, Chase reconnected with a woman with whom he has had a long history. Chase recently told me this information and the fact that it had resulted in a pregnancy. Chase will be a father in October," and then she goes on to say basically just keep all the hate and negativity out. Okay, that is absolutely 100% insane. I will talk more on that in a minute. Now let's look at what Chase had to say. "I don't even know where/how to start. I am very excited to announce I am expecting a child in the fall. Please see Whitney's post for details. I have nothing but love and respect for Whitney and our time together. Thank you for always supporting us. As we now go our separate ways, I ask for privacy for Whitney, myself, and the mother of my child, who wishes to remain anonymous." Okay, I have one thing to tell you guys that basically sums up both those Instagram posts and their whole relationship. BS. It is not true. It was fake. I always loved My Big Fat Fabulous Life. I thought it was a good show. I thought Whitney and Buddy and her family were entertaining. Then Chase came in and he just ruined the whole show basically, because I wanted to, and I still would like to see Buddy and Whitney get together. I think they are best of friends, and I think they could make a really good couple. Chase came in the picture just like that. You know, Chase was jealous of Buddy. It was kind of growing Whitney and Buddy apart, and everyone, including myself, was thinking, well, this whole Chase relationship is completely, absolutely fake. So why is he even here? Like, I usually am naive, I guess, and don't think these reality shows on TLC are fake, because I just figure TLC, it's a good channel. Why would they make stuff fake? However, the one time I do think that there was a scripted part that was completely fake is this relationship. I do not think under any circumstance that Chase and Whitney were actually together, and clearly if they were engaged, I'm sure Chase and Whitney would do a stupid Instagram post about it. That just seems so immature. It just seems so simple and plain, and if you were engaged to someone, wouldn't you care a little bit more than just doing a little Instagram post like what Chase said? Chase didn't even really say anything. He basically just said, go look at Whitney's post, and it's just stupid, it seems immature, and I am not buying it. And however, we do know that Buddy and Whitney are still on great terms. They are still very good friends. They are not quarantining together, but Whitney has done a handful of Instagram posts that have mentioned Buddy, and it sounds like Buddy's actually getting her and her mom groceries every single week and dropping them off. So clearly, number one, Buddy is a very nice guy, and number two, he obviously still wants to be with her in somewhat of a capacity, whether it's just as friends or maybe a real relationship. I hope that they could maybe finally pursue a real relationship now, because I think they would be perfect. So put in the comments below what you think of Whitney, Chase, and Buddy in this whole drama with their engagement now being canceled, and Chase now expecting a baby in October. Completely crazy. Put in the comments below what you think. Now on other news with 90 Day Fiancé and Jeffree. Jeffree went on the Dominic Natty show. I will try to link below the full interview. It was solid. It wasn't, anything too special, but Jeffree made a couple comments that I found interesting. I will keep them very quick so we can run right through this. Number one, Jeffree made a comment that when he went on that first date with Mary that we saw where he had roses and they went out and they had a really fancy dinner, he said that that was 3 months after he got back from Russia. So everyone was commenting that she's just a rebound. You obviously don't care about Varya because he jumped back so fast. Well, Jeffrey was saying, according to Jeffrey, that was actually 3 months later. And Jeffrey also said that that was for Mary's birthday. And one thing led to another. She ended up staying over at Jeffrey's house. And the next morning is when Varia came and surprised them both. And Jeffrey claims that TLC had no idea that Mary was going to be there. You can choose to believe it. You can call it BS. Maybe I'm naive, but I am choosing to believe it. And Jeffrey also had some comments to say about his fellow castmates. He was talking about Ed. Basically, he doesn't like Ed. He pretty much just stands where everyone else kind of stands on Ed, that he is just a kind of a rude guy. He wasn't nice to Rose, and he was just overall just wasn't being very kind, making the comments about her breath and everything else. He also made a comment that totally surprised me. He said that he is like best friends with baby girl Lisa. In fact, they even talked on the phone that day of the interview recording. So they are clearly like very, very, very good friends. And Jeffrey swears that baby girl Lisa is awesome. She's just kind of a loudmouth, but she has a big heart, and that she is genuinely in love with Usman. Now, I don't know if we should take Jeffrey's word and say, okay, yeah, maybe he is right. Maybe Lisa is a really good person. Or maybe we should say, geez, maybe Jeffrey and Lisa are both kind of, out of their mind. I don't know. I'm not going to comment because I don't even want to get in that drama with her and him, but I am just throwing this out there that Jeffrey is allegedly really good friends with Lisa, and I don't know if that's good or bad. When he was asked about Usman, he kind of just said, look, I think Lisa really likes him, and he was saying that I don't know if Usman really cares about Lisa, or if he is just trying to be there for the drama, or just to become famous, or what his real motive is. Then last but not least, he also made a comment about David, and he was basically just saying that he thinks that David was really in it, and that Lana, for one reason or another, whether it be the money or maybe really for David, was also just, truly in this relationship, which I don't know if I really agree with that. But he was also saying that he kind of somewhat slightly felt bad for David because David is now claiming that his clips got cut in a certain way and that they portrayed him as a totally different character than he really is. And maybe that is the case, not saying it's not, or maybe David is kind of like me and extremely naive. And last but not least, Jeffrey finally brought up the comments about what is going on with this tell-all. Were you invited? Were you not invited? And what is going on with this court case and all of these claims with everything going on with that stuff too. Basically, he just said, yes, I was not invited, which I have been saying. So yes, Jeffrey was not invited to the tell-all, and he said that TLC decided to just go with the side of people that have been really pushing to get him off the show because they don't want to get in the middle of it, whether it be true or not true. He was just saying TLC was like, hey, you know what? People are complaining about you, and it's better for us just to end our relationship with you. But, like I said a couple videos ago, Jeffrey did say he is going to do his own little tell-all on YouTube, which I would assume that is going to come out very soon. And with all the charges and everything going on with that, Jeffrey still just swears that they're going to be completely dropped and that, nothing is going to happen. He is swearing by it. So we will have to wait and see how that actually goes down. I have my thoughts, but I think my thoughts are pretty similar to your guys' thoughts on how I feel about Jeffrey, but no one should be proven guilty until they go through everything. So let's just see how this plays out. I think very soon he is going to have his day in court, and we can see how it plays out, and then we can make our comments. And I think it's going to be really interesting. And Jeffrey did say that everything is just getting postponed because of what is going on right now and how everyone is still in quarantine. But I think sooner than later, they will have his day in court and we can see what happens. And now really last but not least, last night there was a quick 20-minute sneak peek of what I think is the last episode of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days, which has been one of the craziest seasons ever. And for those of you that did not see it, I will do a really quick recap. We got to see Ed. He flew back to California. His mom picked him up with his terribly cute dog, and that was about it. We saw Stephanie. She flew back from Australia. She was a little emotional. I don't know how true a lot of it is. I think she is really going through a lot right now because people are calling her out like crazy for just going on the show for fame. So that was basically it. Stephanie and Erica are completely done. We saw Avery and Ash. And like I've been saying, it's just slowly getting worse and worse. It's unraveling because Avery is starting to open her eyes and realize that she is not going to see Ash for a very long time because he's trying to get a passport to come to America, and that could take up to a year. So now she's kind of just standing there like, wow, do I even want to pursue this relationship? And ultimately, I think in that episode, we are going to see them break up. And then last but not least, we saw Lisa and Usman got down on one knee and asked Lisa to marry him. It was awkward. It was cringy. Yeah, it was just really weird. Lisa was crying. Usman seemed to kind of be happy, and that was basically the extent of it. I don't know why I keep using air quotes, but because everything on these shows just seems so far out there, I think that there's no way that half this stuff is even true, but maybe that is just me thinking, who knows? Either way, we have an awesome season finale coming up this Sunday on 90 Day Fiancé at 8 o'clock. I am so excited. Put in the comments below for everything I just talked about with Whitney, Buddy, and Chase, and Jeffrey, and make sure to put in the comments below your thoughts on the upcoming season finale of 90 Day Fiancé. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for many more videos.